Hi everyone, and today we'll talk about recently released Dragon Age Veilguard, my first impressions on this game, and by the way, should you buy and play this game? And from the beginning, I must say that I will try to avoid spoilers, but I might say something spoilering for you, but mostly all the things I will say will be connected with background, what should you know before the game, what the game based on, so mostly there will be some spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition main game and several aspects from Trespasser DLC because Veilguard is a direct, heavily connected and direct continuation of the story from Trespasser DLC. But I will try to avoid major spoilers of Dragon Age Veilguard, not to spoil your experience. And about Veilguard, guys, it's a completely masterpiece. And I'm not saying this because Electronic Arts or IGN paid me, no, because I you might even know from my previous videos, I'm a heavy fan of Dragon Age series, and I still think that Dragon Age Inquisition is one of the most enriched with lore games ever made. The same with Outriders and maybe Elder Scrolls Online. And Veilguard is only continuing this trend. So how much lore you can find in this game is just something wonderful because even from the beginning, the game gives you quite a big encyclopedia about everything in this world. You see, currently I'm showing you everything you can find simply from the scratch, from the starting the game, from the very beginning games giving you the context. There were lots of context, and this context helps you to understand overall story, what is happening, and how beautiful is this world. How much things you simply just learn from reading these pages. The game, by the way, giving you so much lore, so you don't have any empty parts in understanding of the story. Every answers you've got from Dragon Age 1 to Inquisition, everything is game give you all the answers you want. All the answers you want. Everything is answered. And by the way, in addition to that, games gives you not the answers for you to stop exploring the world. No, it's giving you some answers, giving you, by the way, almost all answers you wanted. But with the same answers, game asks new questions for you to dive deeper in that lore about Fen'Harel, about Dread Wolf, about Evanuris, how Illuvians even work, even more lore. Because in Trespasser DLC in Inquisition, we've got a lot of lore about Evanuris and Solus Dreadwolf himself. You might already know from a lot of trailers, from materials, that Solus is a Dreadwolf, our friend from Dragon Age Inquisition. He is a Dreadwolf, one of the divines that created the whole Veil, and all the blights happened in all the eras is somewhat connected with him, and in somewhat his by his not the will, but by the things. It's like a consequences of what he did to the Elven people, and why all the Elven people are imprisoned and currently there are some sort of slaves in the whole terrace. It's because it's all his fault and somehow connected with what he did in a very, very long past, because he is living for quite a long. He is one of the immortal divines in this world who almost was standing near the creation of the whole world. And it's not only one of the most rich lore among all fantasies, but also it's very connected with previous games. You will see a lot of characters from other games, like of course Varric. You might remember him from different trailers of Veilguard, Dragon Age Veilguard, and Morrigan, and other characters like Hardin. And by the way, story of Hardin very connected with the second DLC of Dragon Age Inquisition. Her story also very, very connected with the previous games, and it's not only giving you answers what is happening to her, what is special about her, because Hardin is not that simple like you may thought from Dragon Age Inquisition, where she was just a simple scout who's been telling you all the time where your enemy is standing. No, she is much more complicated person, and she is developed into very interesting ways in Veilguard. In addition to that, you can even recreate your Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition. And I'm not talking only appearance. You can only also recreate choices and even your romances choices, and this will directly impact your gameplay in Veilguard, and also will interact with your Inquisition. You can also interact with your Inquisition characters through the story, through the Veilguard story. And also your character, Inquisition character, will help you, he or she, no matter who are created. And also, your Inquisitor will be one of your, not the companions, but one of your very strong and very important allies during a lot of quests, especially in the second part of the game. And in addition to that, by the way, main story, it's of course it's very connected with the previous parts, especially with Inquisition, because Inquisition, after the Inquisition, there was a wonderful DLC called Trespasser about Solus that brings a lot of context about Solus' past, who is he, who is a Dread Wolf, what is the fate of Inquisition, what should be done with Inquisition, because at the end of the Trespasser DLC in Inquisition, you decided what will be with Inquisition. You've got a chance to make a future of the Inquisition. There was some sort of court among different kingdoms, and on this court, the fate of Inquisition have been discussed. And Trespasser DLC take place after in 8 years after the main story of Dragon Age Inquisition, and the same time when Dragon Age Inquisition Trespasser DLC ends, the same time, maybe in a few months, starts the story of Veilguard. So it's direct continuation of the story of Dragon Age DLC to Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition DLC, Trespasser, where you've been chasing Solus, and when you, a little spoiler to Inquisition, and then where you failed to stop Solus. And Inquisition was some sort of either reformed or some sort of destroyed by some political forces of Arlay and Ferelden. And in addition to that, game is very connected to a wonderful book, Winter Night. It's a book that connects the story of Dragon Age Inquisition with Veilguard. It takes place, main event takes place before Veilguard, but literally after the Inquisition and Trespasser DLC. And when I've been reading this book, and I've been discussing with some other players who also been reading this book, a lot of people reading about Minrasas, for example, they've been, of course, making some vision of Minrasas in their minds. And what we've seen, at least what I've seen in the Veilguard, it's literally exactly how I imagined Minrasas in my mind. So developers Bioware here made a great work to recreate everything very lore friendly. So everything like you've imagined from different books, from different maybe other lore of different different lore books from previous games. Everything is like you've imagined, like you wanted it to be. At least most of the things, I'm pretty sure, will be for the most players, because everything is very detailed, very lore enriched, and even better than you've ever expected. Even Crossroads in Arlatan Forest, just look how this location is beautiful. Just look how the visuals overall in Dragon Age Veilguard are created. Everything is so extremely beautiful, and everything simply just tells a story. Even in Arlatan Forest, when you first visit in Arlatan Forest, you understand, yes, it's the same place where elven people once were and once they lived, and where the great war between different Evanuirises take place. So everything here, even the armor of different characters, visuals, music, everything simply tells a story. By the way, you can see Hawk armor on my character. It was one of the audio bonuses for Dragon Age Veilguard. Also, quite it's some sort of fun service, but still, it's a wonderful fun service to have armor from the Dragon Age 2. And also, you got all the answers to almost all the questions you got from the previous games. Simply everything about blights, what is the main reason of blights, why every blight is happening. Everything is answered, and you even get much more context that you even expected. Game gives you wonderful new stories. Now it's one of the Dragon Age, by the way, was one of the most detailed fantasy universes ever created. I'm not talking about only video games. I'm talking fantasy universes like a genre, like an overall genre, from books, movies, TV series, games, etc., etc. And what we've got from Dragon Age Veilguard is just expansion of that wonderful universe, of that wonderful fantasy that only getting bigger and better in all simplest ways. Just open that lore page at the beginning of the game and simply just read it. You will see by yourself how rich is this world. And Bioware also made a great work simply to sort out all the lore from different parts, from different previous parts, to give you lore that you really need to understand this world. I can show you, sadly, I can show you only the World of Sedas page. I can't show you other lore pages because I promised you there won't be any spoilers, major spoilers for Veilguard, and all the other pages here, sadly, it's a very heavy spoiler, so you can, if you want to read by yourself, you can put a pause on my video and check it, but you will read only this page. I can't show you anything else like I promised. And also, it's very friendly to the newcomers in terms of lore. You don't need to read or watch different several hours lore descriptions to understand what is happening in this world. No, everything is given to you. Context is given to you at the very beginning of the game, so you understand pretty everything. What is happening in this world, why you're chasing Solos, who is Solos or Dreadwolf of Fen'Harel, why he is a real threat. By the way, currently I'm showing you right now this lore page. You can read about Fen'Harel and why he is important, why he is some sort of main antagonist in Dragon Age, Inquisition, Trespasser DLC, and Veilguard. And also, in this game, guys, every single choice matters. Extremely important for you to understand at the very beginning that everything in your game matters. For example, at the very beginning, you've got an opportunity to ask one of your companions to help you. It will be either Hardin or Nevgal. And Nevgalos. And the funny thing is that even this choice to ask one of the companions to help you, even this choice will have very heavy consequences. For example, it's not a very great spoiler, it's very beginning of the game and it's not affecting the story that much. For example, I've asked Nev to help me and Nev was injured, quite heavily injured, and several next acts of the game you will see her injuries, and she will be, by the way, she will be less effective in the battle because she's really bad injured after that events from the very beginning of the game. And if I've chosen Hardin, she would be damaged in that particular scene. So everything, almost every your breath will have consequences in this game. So choose carefully this game, even more details with different choices and opportunities for you to choose and different outcomes for you to choose. Even little, again, not spoiler, just a little very important warning. If you are not doing your followers quest, your companion quest, and not raising reputation with your followers, they even might die, everyone, at the end of the game. Everyone might die if you are not careful enough with them. And if you are decided not to, for example, to romance one of the followers, this particular follower will romance another follower. Even this is made very good in this game. So followers are very alive. Relationships with them are not just sex for sex like it was in Baldur's Gate 3. I still think that Baldur's Gate 3 is a good game. Still, I'm not a big fan of roll the dice mechanics. Still, I do like the overall story. At least what I see from the story, I do think it's quite a good game. But in Veilguard's companions and followers, especially your lovers, they are even more detailed. They are not just followers who one seem to have sex with them. No, they are like a real people, very detailed, very good written, especially what I've seen. Especially Nevgalos and Bilara and even Hardin, at least these three followers, they are written. By the way, it's one of the best followers ever written in Dragon Age series, as far as I remember. I'm not taking, for example, Josephine from Dragon Age Inquisition, because she's not follower, she's also written very good, one of the best, again, writings in Dragon Age series with Nev, Gallus, and Hardin from Veilguard, but she's not follower. I'm currently talking only about followers and their lines. And in addition to that, new battle system in Dragon Age Veilguard was implemented and introduced more similar to Witcher 3, God of War, and Banishers. For example, you don't need to click on character now on your enemy to target this enemy to start fighting him. No, now you have new system with wonderful. By the way, animations is wonderful. Now you have more, like I already told you, God of War or Witcher. Some sort of battle system with heavy attacks, with different, with additional opportunity to swap different weapons. For example, now I'm playing Rogue. I can play two weapons same time, my blades and bow, and I can swap anytime from one weapon to another. And also very good mechanic implementation. I don't need to farm arrows. I have 8 arrows at the beginning of the game, and arrows are on cooldown. I've got my arrows back, not very fast, but still I got my arrows, so I can use them all the time without additional need to craft them. So I simply just play in the way I want without need to farm locations for resources to create additional ammo for my weapons, because in this game it's still interesting to explore worlds, but the game do not make me exploring the world. And also rework tactical pause with different synergies. For example, I can make pause anytime. Tactical pause you remember good enough from previous games, but now in Dragon Age Veilguard you see I have several additional, let's call it affixes. Diablo-like players will enjoy this reference. So I get additional modifications. You can see Nev can use icebreakers that detonate sundered enemies. So I can combine several abilities from different my companions. For example, I can apply weakens with enfeebling shot from Bilara, and with another skill of Nev. I don't have skill on my active panel, but still you can make these synergies. I can put one debuff on my enemy from one follower, and my another follower can use some skill to detonate that weakening. And these detonations, they are one of the strongest skills in the game. So you're not forced to use tactical pause, but if you are using tactical pause, it will give you very strong, very big advantages over your enemies in every single fight. And in addition to that, and of course in tactical pause, you can simply just choose your enemy and simply just choose regular skills and regular actions of your followers to do them in order like it was in the previous game. So tactical pause was only made better in my opinion. You got much more gameplay opportunities and even unique gameplay opportunities from this synergy bombing with tactical pause. And also just look how beautiful locations in Dragon Age Veilguard. It's just a visual masterpiece. When I already told you, when everything tells a story. Even you can see this beam when you start playing the game and first visiting the lighthouse, your new main base, similar to Skyhold. Everything will tell you a story. Every visual, every beam, every color, everything is heavily detailized like it was in, for example, Destiny 2 before Lightfall DLC, when everything also even every little miscellaneous, like for example, pen in the bunker, in the Rasputin bunker, in for example, Beyond Light DLC, everything told a story, particular story, and wasn't there for a reason. Every even color on every item was there for a reason. Similar here, where everything tells you a story and everything giving you a wonderful context to explore world even deeper and to understand this world even deeper. And in addition to that, there is an open world part of the game, and some story locations are a little linear, but with tons of secrets, lore, and different sideways. So there are tons of everything for you to explore the world. Again, it's more similar to Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, and God of War than, for example, to The Witcher 3 and to The Witcher 3 or, for example, Dragon Age Inquisition itself. But still, there are tons of different opportunities for you to explore of the world. Not all the game is not linear. There are some linear parts, but mostly game is with some sort of open world. Most of the locations are open world. Still, there are some story-related locations only with linear ways, but still, even in that linear ways, there are tons of different secrets and different little mysteries that you can unravel and discover. In addition to that, there is, of course, what the Dragon Age game is about, music and original soundtrack, and soundtrack here is very similar to what I remember from Trespasser DLC composition called, there are several names of this composition on YouTube, you might find it by Dark Souls, it's the name of the composition, Trespasser DLC Dark Souls soundtrack, and how beautiful is soundtrack during the fights, during the battles, during the simply just discovering the world, even in the lighthouse where you simply just walking around the lighthouse and talking with your followers after the missions. Soundtrack is so soft there and so atmospheric and so calming. So you simply just understand, even from the music, that yes, it is a safe harbor when everything is safe, at least for now, especially in the terms of what's happening in this world. Currently, you now have some time to simply just have some rest and talk with your friends and even have some wonderful conversations, one of the best conversations ever written in Dragon Age series, and even I can say maybe in Bioware history, because there is some wonderful there are some wonderful games from Bioware like Jade Empire or Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It's also very good in terms of writings and different stories and companion stories, but Dragon Age Veilguard is one of them, if not the best from the overall writing of BioWare. It's for sure, because I've been played all Knights of the Old Republic, different other games, Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and I can say it's one of the best, if not the best writing ever been written by BioWare. And in addition to that, again, atmosphere of the game is wonderful. Even sometimes when you're fighting with some, how better to say this without spoiling? It's very difficult to say some things without spoiling because it's a story-based game. Everything connected here with story, lore, and worlds, different backgrounds. When you're fighting with some divine forces from the past, from the very ancient past, some parts of the game even will be in style, in atmosphere, Diablo-like. Still, it's not copied from Diablo 4-like, but it's very, very similar to that. Still, you still see the unique world of Dragon Age. It still got its unique vibe and unique atmosphere, but still it's very, very, in some ways, similar. So game is not bright. Game is very dark, very heavy, and heavy in terms of atmosphere and in terms of some stuff that's happening around the story, because it's more like Game of Thrones, by the way, a Game of Thrones, and I'm talking about something like season 4 or 5. It's very, again, politically connected, like previous games, especially like Inquisition, one of the most politically connected game or in overall Dragon Age universe. And in addition to that, it's very enriched with some with some dark mythology of that world, especially Evanuri's mythology. It's a dark elven divines who are even some of them even are very deep in genetic experimentations, and all the dark spawns are the creations of some ancient elven Evanurises. So you might understand what you can expect from that story. In addition to that, like it was with Skyhold, again, you can customize the lighthouse, your main base, you can customize your own room, you can put different furnitures, you can customize your main hall and other wings of the lighthouse, your new base of operations, also very lore connected location, again, I can't spoil you anything, but you will see simply from the beginning of the game what the lighthouse is. It's very, very connected with the story. You might get some sorts of clue from that statue. Let me get here so you can see the statue, and you might even get some clues who know the lore of Dragon Age universe. You might even understand what the lighthouse is, a place with whom the lighthouse is connected by that particular statue of some sort of wolf. And also, they reworked build crafting in Veilguard build crafting. By the way, it's easier, but I can't say it's simpler. It's the same reach like it was in the previous games. You still have an opportunity to enchant your items. You still have a lot of different skills. By the way, you can see skill tree. It's very, very big with, again, additional skill trees and skill specializations. Like, for example, I'm playing rogue, I can specialize to duelist, saboteur, and whale ranger, but it's got only easier. For example, now you can see in which ways I can build my character in burst, for example, burst in damage when I'm doing great damage in a little amount of time, sustain and different damage over time, control in different freezes, stuns, etc., etc., and other ways. So I can simply just understand where I want to go, and I can see different variations and different trees of skills, and I understand simply from just opening this skill tree what the skill tree will be about, what this particular part will be about. So it helps you quite a lot to understand. It's very easy to understand, but it's still a very complicated system with tons of different skills, with tons of different synergies, different buffs, debuffs, stacking and not stacking with each other. So it's still very complicated and very good overall way of making your build. But overall itemization, it's remade to Assassin's Creed Valhalla system, where you don't need to farm different things, different items of different rarity, but where you can, for example, take any item and to upgrade its rarity, to upgrade this item by itself with additional currency, with caretakers, this NPC in the lighthouse in your main base. And also, in addition to that, one of the best and richest character creation system, because just show me the game with that rich character creation system. You can simply customize literally everything in this game. You can not only customize your character like your appearance, like your overall appearance, like for example your eyes, brows, etc., etc. You can customize simply every type, every tone of every part of your character, of your appearance. Everything is heavily customized here, and just look how much opportunities do I have in creating my own character, and how much Bioware puts an effort to create such sorry sorry for opening this part, because I almost got it. I almost showed something that YouTube don't like a lot. How much opportunities I've got in creating my own character in the ways I want. It's extremely variable character customization system. And also, what's very important is price, especially price in comparison with other games. Like, for example, I will say about maybe I won't say about this in my every video, especially in comparison with, for example, Destiny 2 and other recent games. Like, for example, Destiny 2 only DLC Final Shape cost something like $70 and $100 for full edition, because without seasons it's almost no content in Destiny 2 DLCs. So honestly speaking, you need to pay $100 for the recent only DLC to get all the content from the DLC. And other games that cost 70 or even higher dollars simply for nothing, for several hours of content. Dragon Age Veilguard cost something like $40 and $60 for Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition only with several, quite beautiful, but still only with several skins, and especially price. It's it's something very strange nowadays, because almost all the games currently cost much more, but the content I've seen, the amount and the quality of content I've seen in Veilguard for now, It's something wonderful. There are tons of content, very good made, and it costs only something like $40 for standard edition. It's a wonderful price, especially nowadays. And also some interesting several mechanics from the game I haven't spoken about yet. It's letters, because in this game you also get letters from the like it was in some previous Bioware games, like it was in Mass Effect Andromeda. You've got letters from other characters and some packages, like it was again in Andromeda. And also you could get a letter. You could get letters from the Inquisitor, your character from the previous Dragon Age game. And by the way, this game heavily about Solos the Dread Wolf, what he is doing, why he is doing that, what is his legacy, some sort of why he betrayed Inquisitor in the Dragon Age Inquisition, what was his goal, and why and how this world of Tedas and whole overall world of Dragon Age working overall. What is the legacy of elves? What is the legacy of overall Kun people, and how this world will relive all these wonderful and epic events. Not wonderful, they are epic, they are very epic, but they are very terrible, by the way, if we're talking about all the events that happen in this world, but how the world will survive this very epic but very dark and very in very ways horrifying and terrible events. But still this world is very beautiful, especially if we're talking about this composition, this visuals, story, overall story, your companions, how alive they are, and about lore, because this world is one of the most alive worlds ever created in fantasy games. So thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to click like button if you want more videos like this. Also check different guides, builds, videos on our channel. Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed series, Remnant to Elder Scrolls Online's news, guides, builds and videos. I'm pretty sure I will make builds on Dragon Age Veilguard when I complete the story, finally complete the story, and when I will just farm every single possible item in the game, maybe some other guides and builds on Veilguard. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Good luck!